I'm Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
What's up? What's up? It's Thursday if you're tuning in live, and that means it's trash night. Or as I told
Day
Rob,
of debris.
yeah, day of debris. Day of debris.
Trash
Rob
day.
was doing better than I did. That's
Yeah,
the better term.
and I'm the guy the show's named after, Rob Van Dam.
Man, yeah.
Man, I just felt him do it with me, man. That was a great idea, man. We're all, boom. What a new addition to the show.
Synergy.
Introduction.
If you guys, though, were not aware, and you were reading, or maybe you were reading the dirt sheets, according to the dirt sheets, Rob is very arthritic. So, Rob, how's your
Go right to it.
Let's go right to it. I'll pull up the article. Let me send it to myself, and then we will get it pumped up here. But yes, everybody, we are live tonight on RVDTV.com, on Rob Van Dam's YouTube channel as well, and feel free to ask questions per usual, like we do.
Is this back up on the YouTube channel as well? Because it wasn't
Yes.
a minute, right? Okay, good.
It was. I missed 1 week. I think it wasn't on your YouTube, and it should be back on there now. Yeah, we should be able. So I don't know if it got taken down or if I forgot to post it that one time, but it should be back up.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. Hope everybody's doing awesome. Holy shit, they've been chatting a long time. You know I don't get here until 6:30.
No, they pregame, Rob. They pregame a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
See a bunch of people in there. We got Charlie Bucket, Unanimous Blumpkin.
What a name.
Yeah, huh? Mr. Marijuana.
Matty.
Always count on hanging out with him on a Thursday, which, by the way, we're going to do a special day next week because Thursday is a national holiday called Thanksgiving. And you all know the nonconformist that I am. I'm not really into holidays, but you are.
Yes.
So you guys are, all you listeners. And maybe I will be once I got a little more of a family going and stuff.
Ooh, that's true. That's true. Maybe
we're always looking for a good reason to party.
That's it. Hey, Rob, when you were a kid, did you have St. Nick's Day? Do you know what that is?
No, sir.
Okay, so St. Nick's Day is every December 6th, I think it is. When we were kids, we would put our boots underneath our beds, and it was like a preemptive thing before Christmas. And you get like candies and treats in there and like toys sometimes. And that was like a little teaser for Christmas ahead of time.
Wow, I am appalled. I've never heard of such a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that we used to do that when we were kids, and we'd get like Ghostbusters and all that shit in there. It was sweet.
Yeah.
Funky, huh? All right, I'm gonna pull up this article. This was in accordance to what we were talking about last week. We were given maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, we were giving DDP praise and talking about how helpful he is to people, and you were saying how he's kind of helped you out too in a lot of ways. And here, the dirt sheets picked it up and made like the main thing about it a little different than what we were.
Rob Van Dam reveals he recently reached out for help from WWE Hall of Fame legend Diamond Dallas Page.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if you guys.
Headlines.com. And it says, Rob Van Dam recently reached out to WWE Hall of Fame legend Diamond Dallas Page for some help. During an episode of his one-of-a-kind podcast, WWE Hall of Fame legend RVD spoke about reaching out to DDP for help with managing arthritis, while also giving fans an update on his injury recovery. And then they have the quotes that you've had. Do you want me to read any of these quotes, Rob?
No, because what they do is they start it to make it sound like I'm talking about me instead of Jake. Right?
Yes. It's like, I've asked DDP, I'm like, what about like arthritis? You know what I mean? Like when Jake couldn't even do. So it sounds like you're asking about your own arthritis.
Right. Well, first off, who are we burying or exposing right now?
This is Wrestling Headlines, who are usually pretty good. What they did is
Wrestling Headlines. No, what they did was they took something that's not true at all.
Yeah.
And they put it out there to try to fucking get some bait. It's clickbait. So anyway, okay, first it's who?
WrestlingHeadlines.com.
All right, first, wrestlingheadlines.com accuse you of being bullshit. Second, if I needed help with anything, I would totally reach out to DDP. That would be first guy. I'm glad to have him in my corner. But one, I didn't need help. Two, I didn't reach out to him. Three, they took something out of context and made their own story. I never said I reached out to him because I never did. I was already there talking about his movie, Jake, The Resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts, and specifically talking about how when Jake, he has Jake, maybe it was one of the first scenes where we see Jake trying to get down on his hands and knees, and he's screaming in pain. He has to roll over because his arthritis hurts so bad. And I told, I'm going to have this conversation with DDP. And you guys, some of you, this is the second time that you're hearing this, but I'm repeating what it was about. And I said to Jake or to DDP, because per conversation, I said, he knows a lot of stuff I don't and can help people in ways that I can't. You know, like when it comes to arthritis, like with Jake, I wouldn't have thought he would have been able to get past the arthritis. I thought that it's just like, you know, like bone spurs and calcification where you don't want it. It's just there once it grows, and then it causes pain because it's in the way, you know, and joints and tendons and shit like that. And so I would have thought that would limit how much Jake or anybody could progress once that's really set in and they're in poor physical health to that extent. And anyway, DDP taught me, or so he says, that you just work your way through the scar tissue. That's what he always says. Just break up the scar tissue, bro. Bang. And he says that you keep working at it and you break up the scar tissue, and then you will get flexibility back. So anyway, that's what I was talking about. And then that's what got this headline that I reached out to him for help. And so you know, that's something that you deal with when you're, you know, in the limelight.
How it's so, I mean, it happens all across media and stuff like that, and so much wrestling media don't have like a journalism background, and that's not saying that other journalists, actual journalists, don't fuck up and distort shit and things like that. But like when you have people in the wrestling media world, they'll take stuff and just angle it a certain way just to get the headlines, because nowadays, like, people read their news on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, and they want you to click on their page to read it and like to try to get all that stuff. And so yeah, I after you sent that to me, I was like, the last thing I thought about when we were recording was like, oh, Rob Van Dam has arthritis and they're going to write about that. Like, what the fuck?
Anyway, I sent that to you because I thought it was funny. I was going to write as a comment. I was going to put on a comment there, you know, this is bullshit. It didn't happen. I never reached out for help. And anyway, there was one comment on there, and it said, this pothead should just retire. That was the comment. And then I just left it alone. But I thought I'd turn that into a bit of an RVDology moment without having a particular value in mind. I think when it just comes to dealing with people being insults, I thought maybe I can use that and tell people how to deal with, you know, being insulted, being bullied, because it's easy to laugh it off. But here's the way, I mean, on something like that, it's like, first off, if what they're insulting you with isn't an insult to you, then think about that. You know, that's how different your values are. You know what I mean? Like, if they're insulting you because they're saying you're Chinese, or you're black, you're Mexican, and that's part of their thing. And I liken that to, you know, someone saying I'm a pothead. So it's like, okay, I guess this person looks down on potheads. Are we like-minded? No. Do we have the same values? No. So why would I care that about what he said? But what it is you realize that they're trying to insult you, even if what they said isn't in fact insulting to you, and then you're just insulted by the fact that they're trying to insult you, and that's really getting into it too much. So don't let yourself get that tied into it. Just laugh it off at the beginning when you realize how different their values are than yours. You know.
Right, 100%.
I mean, if someone says, "Hey, you're a Jewish cocksucker," and it's like, "Well, I am Jewish, but I like being Jewish," and it's like, well, obviously we don't, if he thinks Jewish is bad and I don't, then we don't agree on that. Yeah, I mean, if you don't let your feelings get involved, at least try to hold them back. You know what I mean? I always say emotions get in the way of intelligence and common sense, and they always, always, always do. And one of the worst anyway, is anger. Don't let yourself get angry. We were talking about regrets before, and man, when you get angry, then it's like letting the Incredible Hulk just take over your identity and do what it wants, because you'll scream and yell and look like an idiot and double down and make yourself look even more stupid just because you're angry, and you'll regret all of that later. But try to recognize anger is not your friend.
Anger, yeah. Don't try to make any rash decisions, or it's hard to be rational when you're angry because it's very tough.
Yeah.
Rob, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I was watching some videos of some people that cops had to fuck with and get under control because they were acting like assholes in public, and they're drinking, so they don't realize how stupid they're looking, and they're just screaming at them, no, you cannot do that. And they're like, look, you can either calm down or we can put cuffs on you. Fine, they put the fucking cuffs on me. And then as soon as they start putting the cuffs on them, they're crying, they're bawling and stuff. And it's like, you ain't gonna be too proud of that video.
No, not at all.
Anger is never the right way. I mean, there's exceptions to everything. That is an RVD-ology value, but I can't think of what it is, except maybe the Incredible Hulk. Sometimes he had to let that anger out to survive, to escape, fucking prisons of like 100 feet of cement trapped underground. What are you going to do?
Well, you got to get angry.
You got to be the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, you got to do
it. But seriously, that's like one of the worst that I think we have the most control over, and it totally floods your head with red and wipes out any common sense.
Absolutely. What a great comic book character. Huh?
Anger, no good.
Yeah, what a great comic book character the Incredible Hulk is, though. Like, anger is something obviously everybody gets, and it's just like you implement that into a superhero character and make it like a flaw, but also a strength of yours. It's kind of neat.
Hey, yo, taking this quick break to tell you about the Perfect Gene. Perfect Gene, legitimate. This is a fact. This is a shoot. 100%. The Perfect Gene, that pair of jeans I own, is my favorite pair of jeans I have ever owned. Bar none, hands down, 100%. That's a fact, Jack. And for good reason why. I got the Joker Blue. Boom, look right here. This is my pair of perfect jeans. They look great. The Joker Blues, baby. I got these. 28-30 is my size, if you were curious. But I'm not going to tell you, too, if I have pants on or not right now. But this is my favorite pair of pants I own. Favorite pair of jeans I've ever owned. 100%. You got to get the Perfect Gene. The fit is comfortable. The look is great. And I feel confident anytime I go. If I have an audition, if I have to go somewhere pretty nice on a date, whatever it may be, I wear this pair of jeans because it looks good and it makes you feel good. So you can feel good as well and save 15% with us at One of a Kind with RVD. And it's real simple. For a limited time, our listeners get 15% off their first order plus free shipping at theperfectgene.nyc, or hey, just Google The Perfect Gene and use code RVD15 for 15% off. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectgene.nyc with promo code RVD15. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. please support our show and tell them that we sent you. F your khakis, and you get the perfect gene. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Big what I was going to ask you, Rob, is when did you become more conscientious of taking your emotion out of how you react to people and stuff like that? When did that kind of become part of like your RVDology aspect of life? Like, is there a certain time or age when it kind of dawned on you, like, I gotta separate myself from all this stuff and take the personal aspect?
So the thing that's great is everything's organic. As a kid growing up, I was very stoic, you know, and I didn't show much emotion. My sister always says that I wouldn't laugh, or if I got a joke, I'd be, all right, I get it. That's funny. You know, I didn't want to do the obligatory. Okay. And that's how people converse, you know, is by obligatory reactions. And it comes across as fake and dramatic to me. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it can be fun, and you know, as a inner, what do you call them? Introvert? Yeah.
An introvert? Yeah, introvert.
Daddy's introvert. Yeah. Anyway, as an introvert, you know, I don't have the natural desire to be the loudest one in the room, and whoever that person is most likely annoying me because they're so different than me. They're dramatic, and they look like they're just putting so much more into their reactions than what should naturally be inspired. But anyway, I grew up like that, being very stoic, and then, you know, learning martial arts, learning Zen, learning balance, even weed. You know, it's just like everything is like conducive to the same kind of vibe. So everything goes together. And then, you know, I did most of my growing up in my mid 40s. And even though I would be considered to be, you know, passive and calm and laid back, everyone will say that even through my 30s. But it took actually like having the divorcing and reprogramming myself to really to acknowledge and own all of the traits of myself that are me, you know, like when you talk to people that you don't know, if they talk about themselves, that tells me something about them. And also, whatever they tell you, that's what they think is interesting about them. You know what I mean?
Sure,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah. Imagine you're sitting at a bar next to some stranger, and they're just like, man, I've been in the bar like for so long. I did this and whatever it is. I don't know. You know, like it's, oh my God, my wife is being a bitch right now, trying to keep my kids from me, and I'm trying to. I generally, normally, unless I'm doing this podcast, I feel obligated, but don't like to share stuff because most of my life is like an open book anyway, and so you know, I don't want to talk about me, talk about what I do for a living if you don't know. And even if you do know, you know, I mean, I'm not saying I won't answer questions, but I'm not like at a point where I need to promote myself or brag about myself, and it's not my favorite subject, you know. So just by studying people and stuff, you learn how not to be sometimes, you know. Like, man, that really stands out in my mind, how that guy just will not quit talking about himself. I'm gonna remember to never be like that. You know. But anyway, what I was saying about reprogramming and owning was that without doing that, you just kind of go by what everybody else tells you about you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know, like, imagine you're the most beautiful girl, but growing up, everyone tells you you're ugly. Then you would believe it.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So you base yourself on how other people see you and judge yourself like that. And a lot of times that becomes like, what's really important is like okay, how are they going to see me like this? If I look like this, or what are they going to think about this? It becomes too important. And if you switch that up and think about looking at yourself, and how do you think about yourself, and do you like yourself? Where can you improve, and what are you proud of and stuff? That's when you own it. That's when you own it, and it's nothing really to share with people. It's something to just own, acknowledge, and I think it's always been like a constant growth in this direction. Hasn't been like a sudden, like boom, okay, all of a sudden, I'm an introvert, or whatever the question was exactly, but everything works well together, and then at a certain point, you get a little pride to it. You can become proud of it. Like, yeah, I'm glad that I'm not the idiot that's screaming in the room trying to get everyone's attention, over laughing at everyone's jokes. They look ridiculous to me. Now, I know everyone else in the room might not notice. They may think that person is the evening star. They may be, that person is so cool and outgoing. I wish I could be like that, but it ain't for me. And like I always say, we all have different values.
Oh yes, very much. And no, I think that's a neat thing too. Is like we've been indoctrined. So many people have been indoctrined about how how other people perceive them, and like that's how you kind of judge yourself initially too. It's hard to break out of that and kind of realize like you almost have to take a self-evaluation, be like, okay, what is good about me? What am I? And like maybe like positive things about yourself, and like kind of like almost make a list about like, oh, I do appreciate what I do here, and kind of be conscientious of that. And then what other things that you need to work on in turn too. It's self-evaluation is pretty neat. It takes some time because you're so accustomed to how you were, raised or grown up or been around the certain people you are.
One technique to keep in mind if you're self-evaluating is keep it real with yourself.
Yeah.
People aren't that good at that. We all tend to like when we hear good things about ourselves, but don't like to hear bad things about ourselves. So we tend not to believe them. That's bullshit. That one ain't true. Oh, he said I'm cool. Oh man, I like him, man. Always
that's pretty. Yeah. That's very true too. Yeah, you have to be conscientious. Self-awareness is very key.
And when it comes to just opinions, it's all subjective. You know what I mean? Like I always say, but I mean, that's what I imagine I'll be telling my daughters if they come home from school and they're like, am I don't know, am I ugly or whatever? Be like, why would you say that? Well, that's what the kids at school said. It's like, I would just be like, keep it real. Like you're definitely not ugly to me, but if they say they think you're ugly, they can only speak for themselves. But you know what I mean? It's like, it's a matter of fact thing. Like if someone says you're this or you're that, every comment is jurisdictional because we only have jurisdiction over our own thoughts. You know what I mean? That's like, you can call somebody, you're stupid, but you can't really decide, or be the ultimate judge, jury, execution, and decide if this person is stupid or not. It's just, you think they're stupid. So just categorize it like that. Okay, they think I'm ugly or they think I'm stupid, fuck them, or here's how I feel about them.
Yeah. And plus, when somebody says something like that too, you don't know what their actual intention is by saying that. They could just, obviously be a bully or joking around or whatever it may be.
Doesn't mean they really think it.
Exactly.
Either way, though, it's just it's subjective. Like when they say, well, it's just like opinions are just like assholes. Everyone's got one. There's so much truth to that.
There is. What Katie say?
Katie said, and they all stink.
That's true. Amen to that.
But I mean, there's so much truth to that, though.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. Like that's why, like what I was trying to get at, is like trying to help people. If you have problems with somebody giving you negative energy in that way, in their thoughts, in a bullying way, or them talking down to you or disrespecting you, sometimes just put it into what it really is, and it's like it's just their thoughts.
That's all it is, right?
Who the fuck are they?
Right? Exactly. Who the fuck are they? Rob, something you posted, I wanted to bring this up, but it made me laugh really hard. It was a couple videos you put on like your stories, was fucking people trying to rob Amazon packages off of front porches and then blowing the fuck up in front of it, like with like blue dye or whatever it was.
Yeah. You know, and I'm glad you brought that up because that got in the comments. That got some heat with people that are like, "Stop posting it. It's AI. It's fake."
Is it?
It's like some of it's obvious because like they'll either go back to the door and complain or else they're out in the yard and then they look right up at some mystery sky cam. Who does this? So I mean, I know that some of those have been creatively and some of them now, like boom, they explode, you know, with not paint but like a grenade. And
yeah.
I wanted to post that and say, if these are AI, then explain this. You know.
Oh man, I feel like such a fucking moron because I didn't know it was AI.
I wasn't so sure at first, and the more I studied them, but I still think they're entertaining as fuck, though. And also, if you're gonna do something with AI, I mean, wow, like they really—I don't know how they did that, but they really did a good job. You know, the whole everything with the body movement and the person falling and all that. I don't know how the fuck to do any of it. But.
Hey, it's Dominic D'Angelo of RVD TV, one of a kind with RVD, that is. And hey, we got one of our best sponsors here. That is none other than Mando. Man, I love the Mando because it makes you feel good, makes you feel confident, and you smell like an adult when you use it. I'm watching NFL football back here. I'm not sweating, but if I was, I'd be using Mando, like one of these deodorant sprays. This is the Pro Sport. My favorite is the Mount Fuji, but Pro Sport is also really good. And if you're ever in a pinch, you just need a little freshen up here, boom, you just spray this down wherever, and you smell dang good. You smell like an adult. You don't smell like a college bro when you use Mando. That is a fact and a half and if you are a college bro, and use Mando, you're a step ahead of the game. You're not going to smell like everybody else. So definitely take advantage of Mando here. We at RVD TV, at One of a Kind with RVD, have something very special for you, and that is the Shop Mando Starter Pack. Yes, you can get $5 off your first starter pack here when you use Mando, and you use our promo code RVD. So Mando Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant. Yes, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash and deodorant wipes. If you can, maybe try to get the deodorant spray and free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. Use code RVD at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them that One of a Kind sent you. Mando's got you covered with deodorant plus sweat control. Say goodbye to sweat stains and hello to long-lasting freshness. It's so mind-blowing. AI creeps me out so much. I'm like, I don't know if you feel this way, Rob, but I'm like, I've asked the question too, is like, would you completely remove AI or would you just have it be a part of your life? Like, if you could remove AI completely out of the world, would you do it? Or would you ride with it and keep having it develop the way it goes, whether it becomes a fad?
Why would I want to get rid of it? It's human. It's a superior intelligence that's going to lead us into a new fucking era where this is going to look like the dark world. That's what I think.
Okay, because like the reason I don't like I have such adverse feelings about it is because like, you know, people do like the AI art and it kind of takes away a lot of the creative aspects of people. Like the people, I mean, it makes it easy for people to, you know, make a graphic or something like that. And like, I know it's how things change and develop, but it's a lot of like the things that I went to school for, like, you know, journalism or graphic design or arts or theater or acting, like anything. It seems it's overtaking so much of that stuff, spreading out into the creative aspects, and people are just like, people in charge are just using it for more efficiency rather than having, make people utilize their creativity, I think sometimes. But what do you think?
I think it sounds like you're saying let's slow down because I worked hard to get where I'm at now, and I don't want my life up to this point to be a waste.
That's true.
Wasted investment.
Yeah.
Let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. I think we're gonna be able to do some amazingly cool things faster and easier, and we're gonna take a leaps forward with hopefully some really good stuff. I mean, hopefully there'll be some. Anyone ask Grok how to cure cancer yet? I mean, boom, we'll be able to fucking get pretty far ahead. I'm pretty sure, and it's worth at this point. I believe that it's worth the fact that it's not a genuine, organic, creative thought like in your brain. That there'll still be a way to differentiate between people and AI because of that.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and I think that's a fair point because it does concern me in regards to that. Like, hey, slow down, because like I put all this work in to do what I'm doing, and you're taking it away from me, AI.
It's like at school after junior high or something, you start selling M&Ms, and everyone is paying for that year's senior trip. And the seniors always got to go to the Bahamas every year. That was a big deal. And we're selling these M&Ms and shit. And then right when we got to be in 12th grade, they stopped doing the Bahama trip because kids were drinking. Imagine that.
Whoa.
Yeah, and instead we went to Cedar Point, which is I don't know if you know what that is.
I know Cedar Point. Park. Oh yeah, I know Cedar Point.
Yeah, it was a day trip riding roller coasters after selling M&Ms for like 5 or 6 years. So I think that's how you're looking at the AI.
Yeah.
Wah,
Wow, that's exactly. Let's hit some super chats here. Maddie has a couple. He says Raven Nevermore. He likes the Raven documentary that's out.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't.
A good friend of mine messaged me and said he just watches it and he fucking loves me or something like that. And I said, I didn't produce that one. I was just helping him promote it a little bit by sharing or whatever. And he said, not that, but my interviews in it. So I don't remember what I said or whatever, but according to at least one person, I came out good on it, so that's cool. But but I wouldn't say anything negative on it either. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I hope it does well.
Yeah, it's out now streaming, I think, on Amazon and stuff like that. And,
is it out? Is it?
Yeah, it's out now. I think you can get it on Amazon and you can get it on some other streaming platforms too. I just emailed Raven. I'm set to interview him like after Thanksgiving at some point. So should be kind of fun to have a conversation. I got to watch the documentary though too first.
Maybe we should try and get him on here.
We can definitely try to get him on here for sure. I think that'd be a blast. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Scooby-Doo gang? Maddie's asking that too.
What is it?
The Scooby-Doo gang, like Shaggy and Fred. I guess so. I think that's what he's asking.
I was just thinking like maybe there was a movie coming out.
No, I don't know. Unless you're thinking of something else, Maddie, let me know. But let's go with the Scooby-Doo gang. Do you like them?
They're all right. I always thought, Fred's a little fruity. He had so many chances to bang both of the girls. And
Thelma and Daphne.
Yeah, thank you. Never seemed to enter his mind. He seemed to like run from them, and that bothered me. And Scooby and Shaggy, they were always cool. I used to wonder when I was a kid when I'd watch it, like how come they don't notice that whenever there's a stranger that enters the cartoon, he's going to be the bad guy at the end.
Right.
They don't seem to catch that, but they're good detectives, but they haven't figured that part out yet.
They haven't figured out.
The guy that says, "Welcome to my house. You'll be staying in. It's haunted," and but really it'll be me and with a mask.
Well, what's your thoughts on the polarizing character of Scrappy-Doo?
I liked Scrappy.
You like Scrappy? I hated Scrappy as a kid.
Did you?
I did not like him.
Yeah, I watched his spinoff when he had his own.
Oh, he had his own show? I didn't know Scrappy had his own show.
I think it was just like Saturday mornings or something.
Oh, really? Dang.
Yeah, I love spinoffs.
Spin-off.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think so. I think so.
Well, there was a pup named Scooby-Doo where it was Scooby-Doo as a puppy. They did that one. That was
Maybe
like
that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know.
which was a great show. That was a good show. I like that.
And there's Hong Kong Phooey.
I remember Hong Kong Phooey. Yes.
Who wasn't Scooby at all.
The karate dog.
Could have
He was
been
the karate
Scooby
dog.
Moonlighting.
Yes.
Or Scooby Snacks.
He Hong Kong Phooey though, he's more of a hound. I think he was more of a hound, like Huckleberry.
He ain't nothing but a hound dog.
That's it. Did you like the Flintstones?
I did.
I like the Flintstones.
I did. Yabba dabba doo.
Yes. Oh man.
We had
Jeffy
a
Brooke.
gay old time.
Gay old time indeed.
Yeah.
Here's another question. This is a good one. I don't think we've ever talked about this actually.
Hey, but you know what? What about Underdog? You never watched Underdog?
Underdog.
You did?
Yeah, he was. I liked Underdog. I was okay with Underdog.
How about, because when I talk to people from different parts of the country, but you're Midwest like me, so maybe you got the same cartoons, although a different time period, I'm guessing.
Oh
So,
yeah.
during the Underdog hour, when I would be getting ready for school, a couple cartoons that I mentioned that nobody seems to know about. One of them is Klondike Cat. Did you watch that?
That sounds familiar, but I'm not. No, I did not watch it. I don't.
Klondike Cat always gets his mouse.
Ooh, that sounds kind of familiar.
And the little mouse would say, "Samuel Ferrer is everywhere."
Okay, I see him. I don't remember. Okay, so he was like a Mountie. He looked like a Mountie.
Yeah, like Dudley Do-Right.
Like Dudley Do, exactly like Dudley Do-Right. How about that? Wow.
And another one that was on, I think the same illustrators or whatever, and it was on during the Underdog hour. Besides Klondike Cat, the other one was the Gopher Indians.
Don't remember Gopher Indians. Don't remember.
Yeah, big part of anyone in the chat room.
Anybody in the chat remember Gopher Indians? Do you remember? Well, obviously the Big Panther.
The Pink Panther, yeah, but that was sad. No, the Gophers. It was the music, because they were like Mounties with that too. What the fuck? But the Mounties were always like trying to catch the Indians and tripping and having their plans foiled and looking like assholes. And the Indians, they would. There was one Indian that when he would speak, you couldn't understand what he was saying. And it would always end with his buddy translating what he said for the punchline, you know, like he'd say, and then the Mountie would say, "What did he say?" And the other Indian would say, "Him say, you all wet." And then they'd laugh. Yeah. Go. First watch him go. Nobody knows about that. Raven.
How about the ant and the aardvark? Do you remember the ant and the aardvark?
Fuck no.
You don't remember that?
There they are.
Yeah, there they are right there.
No,
They were like a spin-off. They were like a side cartoon with Pink Panther. I think they were on like the same. Like I think Pink Panther would have episodes, and like one of the side cartoons would be the ant and the aardvark, where it was like almost Tom and Jerry. But
yeah, sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah.
Maybe, but 30 minutes was the Underdog cartoon mixed with these guys, the Gopher Indians and the Klondike Cat, and then there was Tennessee Tuxedo.
Ooh, I don't remember that one either.
Ew,
Tennessee Tuxedo. Let me type that one in real quick.
This created me, and y'all don't even know.
Tuxedo.
Tennessee Tuxedo and Chumley the Walrus.
Oh, yes, the Penguin. I remember these guys.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember these guys. Hold on, I'll pull them up.
Tennessee Tuxedo will not fail.
I remember these guys, yeah. They're like Laurel and Hardy almost, they look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe the voice for that bird might have been Maxwell Smart.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You know what? A lot of those characters, they were based off of celebrities. Like,
And he was on Bewitched, the guy that did the voice for Tennessee Tuxedo. He was
Larry
a
Hagman.
character on Bewitched. No, he was not a regular, but he was like a warlock that would do
Oh.
guest appearances.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's great. No, this is I love all these old cartoons and stuff like that. What was the one about the Mad Racers where it was a bunch of Hanna-Barbera characters? They were all they're in the race car
Yeah,
thing.
Olympics, something Olympics,
Something like that.
Olympics, Laugh
Yeah.
Olympics, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, it was. I remember that as a kid too. Tuned into that. Some people are naming some other. Maddie says Mr. Ed and Alf. Also Seinfeld. Once you're past 30. I remember Mr. Ed for sure. People
Mr.
are
Ed was way long ago.
Oh yeah, Mr. Ed was old school, very old school. That was like on Nickelodeon when I was like a kid. After Nick Jr. was on. I don't know if.
Yeah.
Maddie also says Samurai Pizza Cats. I don't remember those unless he's making that up.
I don't know. I don't know about that one either.
I don't know about that one. Let's see. All right, I start a couple. Yes, this is an interesting one. John Woodmiss, 2849. Thank you, Rob. Do you remember wrestling my fellow Geordie Ben Adrian Neville Pac in NXT? Good lad, that one is. When you wrestled Adrian Neville, he's now goes by Pac in AEW. But,
yeah, that dude is really good, really talented. And I do remember that match. And it's not the first time that I worked with him. That would have been years ago when he was still Pac. Sabu and myself and Pac had a three-way match, as I remember it. It could have been a fourth guy, but I'm pretty sure it was a three-way match, and it was, I don't know if this was AWR, which was a group out of Ireland that I wrestled for, or was this Rikishi's group that I used to work for in Italy and Spain. Can't remember which one it was, but yeah, that was a long time ago, and he wasn't as big, so I don't know what that was, 97, maybe 98, quite a while ago. And then to see him once he got into WWE and he put on like so much size and he looked awesome. And he's so talented, and he'd come so far. Like, I've always been a big fan of his work. You're Geordie. Big fan, big supporter of his. I don't know if he got injured or what, like something at one point that I think stopped some of his momentum. But that dude, I think he has everything to be a big star. He's like kind of like a little. I don't want to say smaller, but I was thinking kind of like a Chris Benoit. Maybe not as big. I don't know if Pac would be suplexing Big Show out of the ring, but he looks like he could do it though because he's so jacked.
Well, the neat thing about him, and like I think I talked to you about this last week, is like you wrestle with like this, and like the strikes and stuff that you did, or like you wrestled with like intensity. He does the same thing too, like in regards to like he wrestles like you believe him. Like he does all this athletic stuff and like kind of like almost supernatural in certain ways. It feels like it's some of the moves that he does, but he makes you believe it. And like his like Red Arrow finisher is just amazing. He's got like a great look. He's stocky and stuff. And like, but you're right though. Like he did get injured a few times, and that has definitely stalled his momentum. Progressing forward because he was great. Like he was one of the original stars for AEW, and like he had some really good momentum and had some really good main event matches. But then he just kept getting hurt, and I think he had some travel issues too at some point. And so it's kind of hurt his momentum, but he's wrestling Darby Allin this weekend on their AEW pay-per-view, so it should be a good match. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. One time when we were on the AWR bus, Um, I guess I already knew him, but then didn't know El Generico and El Generico. I don't know why we picked him up separate than everyone else. Like everyone was already on the bus, and for some reason we stopped somewhere to get El Generico. And anyway, these two guys were like little kids. They were so happy to see each other, and in being in the locker room mentality state of mind, it was annoying how comfortable they were. Just yeah, because like we're in the back of the bus, the hoods smoking weed, and then just sitting right in front of us, El Generico and Pac like sat together, and they were like doing things that we don't do, like singing, like Irish. I don't know if you know, but they sing together,
Oh yeah.
Like me and Sabu would never, just bust out, we are the champions. Like we would never do that, I can only do it if I'm joking and being sarcastic or making fun, but that's not like a burst of emotion, but it's something that they do in a song. And anyway, I just remember thinking that, thinking like, who the fuck are these ballsy kids fucking singing, keeping us awake on the fucking bus when I'm trying to sleep? And they fucking, but I could tell that it wasn't their first bus ride, but they were still, not, my ego told me they're not big stars like us. They need to fucking humble it out a little bit,
That was him and Sami Zayn, Pac and Sami
Yeah,
Zayn.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but that's the way the business is, though. You got to earn your comfortableness, and I just remember, feeling, but I would never. That would get heat with some people.
Yeah.
Maybe Benoit, like we just mentioned, I could see, like certain people. But anyway, that's the business changing. Boom, right there, pivoted.
Wrestling headlines.
That moment, the business pivoted. It did a 180.
Wrestling headlines are going to make the headline that Rob Van Dam hates on Sami Zayn and Pac. Seth chimes in with clarity. Thank you, Seth, for the $10. There was a Scooby-Doo and Scrappy 2 cartoon. You're right. I remember that too now that you mention it. He said, Seth also likes Scrappy. He's a little brawler. P.S. Jim Cornette calls Speedball Mike Bailey Hong Kong Phooey. That's
I can see that. I see some similarities.
Yes.
Hong Kong Phooey was a badass. By the way, I see him, Seth, doing the Venice Dub All-Stars videos and shit on Venice Beach with his gang, and I never know what the other songs sound like because I always am looking at it with the sound off, because that's our rules in bed at night, and that's usually when I watch Instagram. Is the sound will be off, But I give him a like, and I've always figured I'll hear it sometime in the daytime, but 95% of the time I think that's my time scrolling through Instagram before I go to bed.
But I showed you a video of one of his songs.
His other songs?
Yeah.
Don't embarrass me on my show. Shut up, you're pregnant. I insulted her by calling her pregnant.
Oh man, yeah, that's how. Right, that's what you're just talking about too. Is like,
did that to prove a point. She can be like, I love being pregnant.
I'm pregnant. I like it.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. What he thinks.
Yeah, exactly.
He acted that out for y'all's benefit, Van Dam fam.
Yes. Seth, yeah, you do good stuff. I enjoy what you do. I see stuff on Instagram too. It's great stuff.
Hey, gang. You want to hear a story? I got a good one. I don't think I ever told this story actually on a podcast. And, well, it's worthwhile considering what I'm sponsoring right now. Okay, so once I was offered some gummies by a friend. I took those gummies. I waited for the right moment, or at least what I thought to be the right moment to take those gummies. I took one. Waited. Didn't work. Like, this isn't doing anything. Took another one. Well, you know what happens after that. Rough times for Dominic D'Angelo. I found myself naked in the bathroom thinking I was passing away. Well, yes, I learned my lesson very much so in that moment. Well, the next day, because I was too hysterical to kind of make any sound choice of reason at that point in time, being naked on the bathroom floor. However, you will not find yourself in an embarrassing situation if you choose IndaCloud. Boom. That's one of our great sponsors here at RVD. IndaCloud is, yes, you got so many great options when it comes to it. Take a look at this stuff right here. Boom. Look at that package. We got the gummies there. You got IndaCloud Pop Rock Fizz. There's also Dope Rope. You can't really see that. It's a little blue strip right there that if you see it, but Dope Rope there. And then, hey, look, they got the dosage right on the package, so you know the kind of amount you're taking, the kind of amount you're enjoying. So yes, IndaCloud is the way to go. And we at RVD TV, at One of a Kind here with RVD, have a special deal for our listeners. That is correct. So if you happen to be 21 or older, that's right, head to indacloud.co and use code RVD for 40% off your first order, plus free shipping. It's IndaCloud's biggest sale of the year, and it's live all month long. No 12-hour panic buys here. That's indacloud.co, code RVD, 40% off, free shipping, and the only Black Friday upgrade that comes with actual belly laughs and not lying. Maddie also said, Scrappy Doo, my AM staff acts like Scooby. I was calling Van Dam fam the Scooby Gang. Oh, because we are stoners. So we're the Scooby Gang, I guess. And he's like, what about the Jetsons? And Count Duckula, He-Man, and He-Man too. I remember obviously the Jetsons. I know the Jetsons.
Oh, yeah. Big Jetsons fan. I liked He-Man a lot too. But not Count Duckula. Didn't know shit about Count Duckula.
I didn't. I remember Count Duckula, but I didn't watch him.
Count Chocula cereal. I liked Frankenberry and Blueberry.
Blueberry
I grew up in a cereal city though, so that's a whole other episode.
That's right, isn't it? Man, that's right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but that is something though. I did not know that Scooby was that Shaggy was a stoner. Scooby and Shaggy growing up.
Yeah, no.
I didn't realize until, I was definitely an adult and saw it or something in High Times magazine. And it was, look at them. They're driving this van around. They always got the munchies, this and that. And I was like, oh, yeah, they are. Right? And that's what makes them funny.
Yeah, right? Yeah. You don't even think about it as a kid, but, if you're an adult, you're like, oh, those fuckers smoke weed all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fred didn't. Fred would fucking stooge on him.
Oh, yeah.
Fred's bitch ass would stooge. I don't know who he would tell, but somebody.
Well, if you ever saw the crossover with the Scooby-Doo gang, they meet Johnny Bravo, and they imply that Fred fucks Daphne big time. It was like they imply that he does. Like, he'll make a look at the screen like, yeah, I'm fucking her. Yeah. and so they kind of changed the context of that. But
okay.
Yeah, Fred,
but you're gonna see Johnny Bravo got the girls.
Oh yeah, right. You think Johnny Bravo typically would, but Fred's like, yeah, I'm fucking Daphne big time. Let's see. Here we go. A wrestling historian. Thanks for the Canadian $2.
By the way, as far as He-Man goes, don't know if you know this or not, but little trivia fact for you. The cartoon of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe was made to sell the toys, not the other way around.
Wow, really?
Yeah, usually you get the toys, to sell the cartoon, and from the success of it, this was the other way around. The toys came out first, and I had them way before the cartoon came out, and they used to come with a tiny little comic book in them. And the stories that were in there were nowhere near as child friendly as the cartoons.
Seriously?
He-Man was like a caveman, with a spear, like hunting his food, and it was like more violent. And in my mind, imagining when I was a kid, I pictured like the Savage Sword of Conan and Conan the Barbarian, because that magazine used to like draw swords like right through people's faces, and it showed tits and ass. It was like an adult. Yeah. I think Frank Frazetta drew it, or at least the covers. But anyway, it was like an adult comic book, Conan the Barbarian, and for He-Man. In my mind, I imagine it being more like that. And then when the cartoon came out, and I was like, "What's this Prince Adam bullshit?" Like it was. So they really like kidified it.
Yes, but yeah. They're making a new Masters of the Universe movie. Yeah. So I'm trying to see who's in it. Jared Leto is going to play fucking Skeletor, if you know who Jared Leto is.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, let me present this to anybody listening. If you guys let me know if you think this is bullshit or not, because I think probably it is. But I was at the we went to a bunch of cons recently, and we didn't talk about that. We were just in Oklahoma, and we were at the big event before that, Wrestling for Heroes in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Well, Taylor outside of Tulsa, the big event. And anyway, the week before was the Rhode Island Comic Con. Somewhere in there, I was talking to someone at a booth that had a bunch of Funko Pops, and I was saying, you know how they do the mesh ups, and I've seen, like I think Ghost Rider and Deadpool meshed up or things like that, though, where they put the comic book characters and they mesh them together to make a new one. And I was saying, I always thought that would be cool to do with the wrestlers. And I was telling him I used to have a 3D printer before anybody had one in my office on Hollywood Boulevard forever ago. Never learned how to make it work. Even hired this guy that worked with Marvel in the 3D department and stuff. And we didn't end up getting along, and he wanted me to pay him more for nothing. And so anyway, I never did figure out how to make this one work. And it was called something that sounded like GoBot. It was like a really user-friendly 3D printer. But anyway, forget all that. This guy told me that they did that with wrestlers.
Really?
Yeah, and that they were, I don't know if they were Funko Pops. I think he said they were, but he said that they did it with the Masters of the Universe and wrestlers, that they did mashups. And he said that the guy, like, the character Many Faces, I think it's called, and you can spin his head around. He's got different faces.
Oh, I think I remember him. Yeah. He-Man was like just before my time, but I'm familiar with some of the characters and stuff.
So this guy, like one guy could see around corners. I think that was him. I don't know. But he was saying Man of Many Faces or whatever, that they meshed them up with Spirit Squad, and and you turn around and they were different characters. And then later on, I was like, if they're going to do somebody, would they do Spirit Squad Funko Pops, and nobody has ever heard of it except this guy that was telling me that I missed out on this when he was selling Funko Pops. Like, if anyone in the chat room has ever heard of that or anything like that, let me know, because I believed him when he was telling me. He was so convincing. I was like, what? I got to find those. And then afterwards, I was like, I don't think I believe him anymore.
Right. I've seen Funko Pops that kind of like have been mashed up, like they do like this crossover kind of thing, but I've never seen anything to with
wrestlers, right?
Of wrestlers. No, I haven't seen anything.
I thought it'd be cool to do the wrestler with wrestler, mesh them up, or wrestler like with superheroes or something. And
so now I do know that WWE is coming out with figures. I think they did a Ninja Turtles line where like some wrestlers are Ninja Turtles.
Said.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is what he said.
Oh, so that So that's the thing.
Bullshit. What was it? Tell me about the Turtles.
So I believe like maybe Kofi Kingston's like a Ninja Turtle, and like Rey Mysterio maybe. There's a couple. There's like 4 different ones.
Are they Funko Pops?
No, they're like Mattel, I think.
Okay.
They're like Mattel. And then I want to say that another line is maybe Street Fighter. They do like a Street Fighter crossover, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody, if you guys know what I'm talking about in the chat, clarify it for me. But I do remember seeing Ninja Turtle lines.
Okay.
Way back when they did a Ghostbusters crossover with WWE too. They had The Rock, they had Stone Cold, they had The Undertaker, and they're all in like Ghostbusters outfits.
Man, I never heard of none of this.
Right?
Wow. It's like I stumbled onto like a whole new area of interest.
Yeah, pretty neat. Like if you're a old-fashioned toy collector kind of thing, and you like wrestling figures. So,
But Rob, how neat is it though that your new RVD figure is like a He-Man figure from way back when? Like they're kind of in the same style.
Are they?
Yeah, like the WF Superstar ones. Where's my Razor Ramon one I have? Wherever it is. Oh, over here.
You have it?
I have the Razor Ramon. I don't have you.
Oh, okay.
My brother
I
gave
don't
this
do
to me
that.
for my birthday.
Yeah.
But like it's like the old He-Man figures, basically. Masters of the Universe.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it is.
In
Yeah.
that style. Yeah. And that's pretty
cool.
neat. They made one of you.
Godfather had his at the table the other night. I saw him in Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
And he had the Papa Shango action figure. It looked pretty cool.
Dude, that's fucking sweet. That's awesome.
I hope they send me mine because I don't know if a lot of people don't know this, but Walmart just released 2 RVD figures, and one is the ever popular striped outfit, and
Yep.
the other one is a Robbie V, barefoot, no paint on my.
Take a look at that.
Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's awesome. Those are awesome figures, Rob, man.
I used to wear electric tape on my wrists, just and my feet down there. Electric tape, pretty much just for the looks. I didn't need any support back then. Now I put a cast on each hand on my wrist with tape. I use a whole roll of tape on each hand, but it used to just be a little electric tape around my wrist. But anyway, that's a Chase figure, and these are 2 Walmart figures, and so far I need them. I don't have them yet. Target also just put one out. I got the Money in the Bank briefcase on the Target one.
Ooh.
They did send me a box of them. I guess
That's
I could have showed you. Maybe I'll show you Thursday or Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
I don't have it in front of me right now, but now that I think about it, that's new. I could share that and something to go and get. But if you get the RVD, if you get the Robbie V Chase figure, you have to give it to me.
That's the key. If you meet RVD, give him the Chase figure if you have it.
That's how I got my the recalled one with the Korean flag drama with the Japanese flag with Korean conflict drama. The recalled RVD figure from last year. Anyway, yeah, fan just totally gave that to me.
How about that? Man.
Yeah, fans are the best.
They are the best. Let's like when we have people in the chat like this too. It's awesome to have like this community that's and everybody. The fans are so generous too. They are very appreciative of what you guys do. Frankie Teresa always asks the good questions. Thanks for the $2. Closest you've come to serious injury, Rob? Was there a moment where you're like, "Holy shit, that would have been really, really bad"?
Well, when I got my knee surgery, that was pretty serious.
Oh yeah,
I tore my ACL and my meniscus, and that was something that took a long time. Like I actually first tore it in 2001 before I was even hired with WWE, and then I kept on it, and it got worse and worse, and my ACL just whittled down to a thin fabric that just snapped one time in 2005, and then I had to have my only surgery that I've had. But another time, a close call one that I think of, I don't know if I can explain this, but somewhere in the UK, Sabu and I went outside the arena to have a smoke, and we found these stairs. We found these stairs that are outside that go to a door that nobody's using, and the stairs had like a wall on each side of them, and while we're just talking, bullshitting, smoking or whatever, I'm on one of the walls, and I jumped over to the other wall, and when I did, when I did, I jumped over. When I landed, like I almost went over. It was like one of those teetering moments where I was like, "Whoa!" I think Sabu even grabbed me if I remember right. But looking down, there was like a probably a 20-25 foot fall, and then down there was a big glass, what was a ceiling to something underneath it. So there was something. I don't know if it was a hallway or a room, but it was they had a glass ceiling in our state, just the way the building was and the hill and everything. I didn't even know that was there, but like if I would have fallen, it would have been really bad. I would have went way down and then smashed through the glass and then ended up on the floor. And I don't know if it was something attached to, it was a classroom looking building attached to the arena. So I don't know what it was, but that pops up when I think like, wow, that was, because I mean, we're not going to say like, whoa, but it registered like, wow, that would have really sucked.
That would not have been good.
Yeah.
That would have been like a Batman villain death.
For not being very dramatic, we had to give that its due, what it was, its due value, and it was worth taking a moment to say, holy shit, that was stupid.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. I'm not thinking about it at the time. It's just like, man. Instagram a wrestling historian. Thanks for the Canadian $2. What was your favorite movie that you did?
That's a good question. I like doing fight scenes.
Yeah.
Like in Super Fights and in Blood Moon and in Rock Side of Town. I think I had the most fun with the Three-Headed Shark movie, though.
That's the one where you died, right?
Well, no, not necessarily. You just see me go down, and you see my head go down in the water. You don't actually see me. But what do you mean the one where I died? I've been shot so many times, stabbed, had my neck broke. I could probably have a list. Had my heart explode on Black Mass 2. I've died so many times in movies and TV shows and stuff. So many. I think I got eaten. Oh, this was the eaten one. But anyway, I had the most fun filming that one. It was just, the weather was great, being out on a boat, and the part was cool and stuff. But Wrong Side of Town is my only starring role, and so that one, for prospectively, that was, I could say that was my favorite for that reason, but it's not though. So I'm gonna go with the Three-Headed Shark movie.
How about that?
I've even done shit that you guys haven't even seen yet, and some of it I won't even remember. But but there's something that zombie related that hopefully will be distributed soon.
Ooh, stay tuned, everybody. Stay tuned. Yeah. Here's another question. The Oracle, thanks for the $2. What was your weightlifting routine in the 2000s?
2000. So I was lifting pretty heavy, and I would lift heavy on the bench, heavy on the squat, and not too much. I've never been a big fan of deadlifts. I do them sometimes and can lift a lot up with it, but it's easy to strain my lower back, and that takes a long time to feel better. So I never put a lot into that unless I was seeing what I could do or just going through a phase or whatever. But fucking stretch. I would usually stretch before I lift. Stretch for like a fucking hour, and then I would split my body up, so I do 2 muscle groups a night, except legs. And in the 2000s, my legs would get postponed. They'd be the first thing that I would skip if I had to for whatever reason. Like let's say I'm wrestling on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That doesn't give me too many. I mean, I can work out before the arena or during the arena when I get the 3 T's to success. I'm not going to squat heavy on a wrestling day. You know, not anymore. Maybe when I was 20 or something, I did that. Jeff Jarrett was like, we got to work tonight, right? And but yeah, but so I would end up skipping my legs a lot, and also my legs were always the advanced muscle group and body part, so I wouldn't have to work my legs as much. So when I would do legs, I would always squat, always go to at least 405, and always get like 10 to 12 reps on my last set with that weight. I build my way up to that, and because my legs just stayed strong and were so big, a lot of times in the 2000s, especially early 2000s, I would go 6 weeks, 2 months, sometimes 10 weeks in between leg workouts.
Wow.
And it would just be like, you know what? I'm busy. I got a day to work out. I haven't pumped my bicep. My upper body hasn't got a pump in over 4 days. I got to hit it. I always felt the need to get an upper body pump for the competitive reasons, to feel like I can look in the mirror and not hate myself. And I can feel like I worked out, or like I look like I work out, like I could skip the legs forever and just keep working on my upper body. But if I skipped my upper body for like a week, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't skip my upper body for a week. But that's what I would have to do to get legs in, unless I just waited till the right time came when I would have a straight 4 days in a row, which didn't happen very often, where I could be lifting that many days. But so I would skip. And then even though I skip leg days, which would just be like squats and then maybe leg presses, sometimes just squats and then curls, extensions, calves. Sometimes some abductors and adductors, sometimes leg presses. But what I would do always would be like the treadmill. So that worked my legs anyway. Even if it's been weeks and weeks since I did the heavy squats, if I'm running on the treadmill, doing like 20 minutes, mixing it up on there, which I'll show you a video, but I run backwards and sideways and do pivots and all this. And anyway, that keeps my legs in shape, even in between the heavy leg workouts. So I would mostly try to focus on growing my upper body to match my legs that God made. God made me into a centaur, and trying to catch up.
Yeah, man. I bet. Did anybody try to recruit you for hockey when you were a kid? Because like you have the hockey player legs, really?
No.
Like, man, a lot of like you see so many hockey players. They have those fucking huge, like legs like you, where it's just like they're just powerful, like kind of things like that. So.
Yeah, I never was around hockey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe being Michigan, they might have like.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people always think that. If it was there, I guess it probably was there because we had the K-Wing Stadium that I did the Tough Man contest on.
Oh,
and
okay.
That was I believe that was the hockey team's arena.
Yeah.
So they must have been a thing. I just didn't follow.
Yeah, man. No, interesting. So when you mentioned that you stretched for like an hour before you lifted, when you did that, how long would you lift for then after you stretch for an hour? How long would your routines be?
I had that part down pretty quick, man. A lot of times I'd be out of there in like 35 minutes.
Oh, okay. So that's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Otherwise, maybe like an hour. But,
Okay.
But yeah, during that time, I would usually, once I start hitting the weights, try and get out of there in 35 or so minutes and not rest much and just go, 3 or 4 sets here, 3 or 4 sets there. Just go by how I feel. if I only feel like doing 2 sets, fuck it. I don't want to do a third one, you know. Maybe I'll replace it, maybe I won't, but I always just go with what I feel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick then too. I know you probably talked about this before, but I just can't remember. What stretching, like when did you adapt that into your routine? Like, did you just learn that through doing the martial arts stuff, and that just became part of your like how you prepared and everything? Is that how?
Originally, yeah,
Go ahead.
originally, it was something we had to do in gym class.
Okay.
That's where I started with it, and then I just martial arts added to it, added more positions, more reason to keep stretching, and then I just kept going.
Okay, because it's so funny because everybody skips stretching. Everybody skips it like when they go lifting. And it's like, but that's been such an indoctrined part of your routine. And what's made your longevity so great, I think, too, is like doing all that. So
It's in order to really feel like I'm at my best, I have to go through my whole stretch routine and every position. And by the end of it, I've done a complete welfare check. So I know parts of my body that might be inflamed or might be tender that I wouldn't have known about if I hadn't twisted myself up in a pretzel. But then by stretching out, it's also a great mental, experience. It's the most inner experience that I can explain. That's why I go in alone, and instead of talking and sharing with a class, it's a real inward thing. Like I don't even know if I have my eyes open for most of it or not. It's something where I just get into feeling my body from the inside, and I have to go through the whole thing in order to feel like my best, but it doesn't mean that I will feel like I'm at my best. Sometimes if I'm stretching, I'll find out I'm more limited than I thought, and then I don't feel like I'm at my best. But I definitely won't feel like I'm at my best if I don't stretch.
but it's certainly an evaluation of your whole body at that time.
Yeah.
That's good. Sweet. All right. Wrestling Historian also asked you this. Did you want to be TNA champion during your second tenure in TNA? Was that a thought in your mind when you went back to the company?
I don't remember I'm trying to think of who was champion.
I'm trying to think too. 2021, and you were around there, right? Was that?
Yeah, Sabu and I had a one-off. We did a match. I think it was WrestleCon weekend or something, and it was against Penta and his brother.
Oh yeah, Lucha Brothers. Yep.
Shortly after that, I signed a contract. So I think it was 2021. No, I didn't sign a contract.
Oh, it wasn't 2021. It was like 2018. I think it was.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was before COVID, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I interviewed you around that time. I interviewed you around that time for Headstrong and stuff, and I think you were part of TNA.
And all through during COVID in front of the empty buildings. That was all part of it.
Yeah. Okay. So, but yeah, then it was during COVID.
Empty studio in Tennessee. That was
Yeah.
I didn't like that really at all. That part of it, but anyway, I don't think I had my sights on the championship belt, but I did feel like if they really wanted to utilize me and make me one of, if not the focal points of the company, then they would do that. That's how I felt. Everybody thinks they should be champ, and they'll tell you why, because they're the best.
Yeah.
But I remember when Scott D'Amore was talking to me about coming in for that run, he was saying that he wanted me to be like their Sting that they used to have. And, Sting was the biggest star, big draw. Right. And I kind of felt like when I was there that I was used more to bring their guys up, which is understandable to a certain degree, but up and over I don't know. I started feeling like either they gave up on that idea because it wasn't working, or they're not doing it right. And I would have thought, being champion and saying, boom, we got the whole fucking show here, and boom, this is what we're putting out on the road. That would have been different than just having me wrestling against one of the up and coming wrestlers that they're trying to get over.
I think there should have been like more of a balance. I know when you were there, it was kind of frustrating because like you were underutilized. It felt like in a lot of ways when you were there, and I was like, dang it, like why don't they put the title on Rob, because he's such a big star and TNA needs that right now. I think they need a little bit of elevation stuff. Not to take away from any of the other wrestlers there, but I mean, like you're Rob Van Dam, and so
yeah, it didn't feel like it a lot of times, and I was like,
yeah,
didn't feel like Rob Van Dam was carried a lot of weight. Let me put it that way. It felt more like just another one of the guys a lot of times with what they were doing with me. And I wouldn't want to be in charge of writing stories and shit, but people that are like it. That's why they do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, just because you're good at something doesn't mean you like it. It just means you're good at it.
It means you're good at it.
That's a quote from Sabu. But fuck, what was I gonna say about
you being underutilized?
So what I was gonna say was this could be something that works against me sometimes, but if you're paying me, I'm probably not gonna be the first guy to complain.
Right. Yeah.
So that allows them to keep doing shitty with me because they're paying me.
Yeah, because you're getting paid. Yeah, right. But that's a good mentality to have, though. Hey, I'm getting paid.
That's what I'm there for.
I'm there to do my job. Let me see here. Ooh, Roger Ware Inc. Thanks for the $2. We've talked about this plenty of times, but what was your relationship like with Rey Mysterio?
Yeah, Ray, he's one of my favorite people. I love him. I can't imagine anybody talking bad about him. You never hear of any scandals or of him fucking anybody over or anything. He's just a really sweet guy. And I love how athletic he is when it comes time to be in the ring together, whether we're wrestling each other or I love tagging with them because the crowd loves both of us. We were tagging in England for this company, 5-Star Wrestling, the short-lived promotion of in England, but it was just like so obvious that we were like top baby faces, and together with him felt stronger. You know what I mean? Like feels like we're superheroes joining together, making the Avengers. Like now we can really do some good. And cool dude, and very generous, nice. Always has been.
Something about Ray too. I was at a SmackDown show like a year and a half ago, and he was like in a dark match after the show ended. It was like a special match where he like teamed up with, I think, Dragon Lee against Dom Mysterio and somebody else. And like when Ray got in the ring, he was just on another level of everybody else. And like at his age at that point too, he was so smooth, and he was just, I've seen so many of the luchadors wrestle and so many of those that like younger guys wrestle, but Rey Mysterio just still stood out. He was just that good.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's great.
Yeah. And not just, you're talking about his age, but also what's he had, like 7 knee surgeries or something?
Yeah, he's had a lot of knee surgeries, right? So
he had when I got mine in 2005, he'd already had 4, and I've heard that he's had some since then.
Yeah,
but I don't know. He actually lives here in Vegas just like I do, but we never really keep in touch or whatever. I guess just we're on different time zones. We're on different pages, I guess. So far. Oh yeah, that's true. I guess we've seen him at Brian Cage's. Brian Cage is a social guy, and he throws parties at his place, and that's that's about as social as we get. Sometimes I'll see the guys over there, some Carlito over there. Yeah. But I have no idea how close he is or far or whatever. And, or even if the number that I have for him, it's always been so long since I've talked to him that I never know if my number is still good or not.
Yeah.
You know, like, so, but even though we don't talk a whole lot, he's still one of my favorite people to see.
Isn't it? It's great. It's like I'm sure with so many wrestlers, it's just like you get out of touch with them, and like, but you still like when you meet up, it's just like you guys never parted ways or anything, you know.
Yeah,
We gotta get you, Greg Valentine, and Rey Mysterio all together.
We just passed by Greg Valentine's house yesterday.
Yeah, Greg was very close to me. Every time I see him at a convention, he's like, "Hey, neighbor, I never see you in Vegas. We live right by each other. The only time I see you is at these conventions." And I always tell him I'm gonna roll a doobie and stop by sometime and burn it with him. And I am going to, and I'm gonna need to do that while I still can before it's too late. That's something I learned from Sabu too. So mark my words. Also, Godfather, same thing.
Yes. Yeah. Hell yeah. Godfather's awesome. All right, we'll close it out with this one here. We got Maddie.
Cool.
He says, how to explain the cult following of ECW still to this day? How would you explain the ECW cult following to the modern wrestling fan, Rob?
Well, it was so different. It was so cool. It had the car crash appeal that made you, if you're flipping through the channel, stop and pay attention and watch the action. It crossed the lines, and so it was compelling is the best way to put it. And it was so compelling. So many people watched it. And when you watch something like that, it's something you don't ever forget. It's something that's a part of you as the watcher. It becomes part of your life, part of your history, part of your childhood, part of your adulthood, part of something that you cherish in your life. Just like what we're talking about here, you could say there's a cult following with, the fucking Brady Bunch. You know, those guys can do conventions and draw a bunch of people still and shit. That's because people remember them. We remember Scooby-Doo and Underdog and all these things that we talked about today. You know, it's like those are important building blocks that helped create the foundation that is our essence. So I'm glad to be part of something that stood out and had so much value in people's lives, because if it was just another product, some people would say, I kind of remember that, or kind of, I mean, it's not, I mean, hey, Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, that even has a cult following. Those girls, we just saw Kalani, what's her name? Wiley Coyote Kalani.
Oh.
No, Kalani, I can't remember her name, but anyway, just saw, my point is that people watched that and it stuck out in their mind. There wasn't anything like it, you know, and it wasn't something with necessarily the kind of substance that a wrestling fan would hold to a high standard, but yet for the time and for the part of our lives for back then, we'll never forget it.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great way to put it too, Rob, because like so much of that you connect it to your wrestling fandom, or like you're just growing up and part of your life. It becomes part of your life. You know, ECW was very much like that.
ECW is in all of us, the wrestlers, people that watched it, people that worked, Ron, the camera guy, Charlie, all of them.
Charlie's awesome. We actually got a couple more super chats from Matty. He said, this is kind of funny too. What's long, hard, and full of semen? Submarines.
Hey, I actually think I would have answered that given enough time. I remember that one from Truly Tasteless Jokes.
Truly tasteless
It was
joke.
a book when I was a kid. I had to collect them all. Hey, by the way,
Matt,
we're going to do a special show next week on Sunday. I think we talked
Yes.
about it. We're going to, anyone that just tuned in or forgot already or whatever, we're going to be back Sunday.
be
Same
back
time,
Sunday.
Same bat time, same bat place, different bat day.
Same bat channel though, for
Same
sure.
bat
Too.
channel.
For sure. Okay, we'll close out with this, Maddie. I'll get to your questions on Sunday, the rest of them. But Paula Maything, thanks for the 420. He gave us 420, Rob. What's your favorite upper body and lower body stretch?
I guess if I have to name one upper body stretch as being my favorite, I'm going to say that it is just putting my arms behind my back as if I'm being handcuffed and reaching up my back. I say that's my favorite because that's something that I might do when I'm just standing sometime. Could be at a convention behind the table, and I could say, I'm just going to take a minute and get a good stretch. And I'm always so tight in my shoulder area that doing that pulls, and it feels like it's pulling in a good way where I should keep doing that to increase my flexibility so that it's not as tight. And when it comes to my lowers, I gotta is it a, I don't know if it's like a ballerina stretch. It's kind of like a standing hurdle stretch. So I have a Smith machine and I put my one leg on the bar while I'm standing on the other leg, and it allows me to really bring my face and my knee together and put my arms around my leg and hug it. What, Barbie? Barbie wants to say hi.
Oh, hello, Barbie. Look at Barbie. Hello.
Scratching me.
Oh,
Also, we got Lovey here.
look at Lovey hanging on out.
Yeah.
Cute pooches.
And so yeah, that's my favorite because I can lower my hips to increase the stretch on that, engage it as I want, and I can like lean. I can lean up and grab the cage and pull myself either way, all while my target leg is stretched across the bar that's in front of me. So that one's pretty awesome.
That's a good one. I'll have to do that shoulder stretch because I feel my shoulders a lot when I'm like even lifting like light weights. I can feel like, oh, I should do that. I got to do that more.
It's just like your handcuffs. Some people, when I'm watching my cop videos and they try and handcuff some people, they're like, "Oh, my shoulder doesn't bend that way."
Well, they would if you stretched.
Right, yeah.
Always be ready to be arrested, everybody. You never know.
Yeah.
All right, Maddie, let me screenshot your questions so I can save them for.
And we're gonna have a guest Sunday. My momster friend Frankie Citro. So
yes.
If you want to do your homework, look up Frankie Citro and check him out so that you can be prepared with any questions for him.
That's right. I just posted it in the comments, everybody. Frankie Citro. Google him. And if you have some questions, ask him. Ask him on Sunday night. We'll go live again at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Frankie Citro will be our guest, and it should be a really fun one.
There was just a big article on him last week in the Las Vegas Review. You can see it online still if you go to it. And there's another one from another state that's coming out. And the reason that Frankie C is making it in the news lately is they have this book called the Black Book. And if you're listed in the Black Book, you're not allowed into any casinos anywhere. And once you get in the Black Book, you stay there until you die. And so they have this process where every few years they look through and they see how many people are dead and they exclude them from the book. they've never excluded a live person before, but Frankie C wants to be that person. He's petitioning and fighting to get released from the book because he got put in there 30 years ago. He's a changed guy, yada, yada. We're going to talk to him about that. And we'll ask him about the betting that's going on with the mobsters. And
Ooh, well, that'll be great. Yeah, get his perspective on that. And the sports betting and all that shit that's going on.
right, and all over the place. Get his
Yeah.
opinion on that.
I just posted the link to everybody to the article. So in the chat. So check that out. Study up and feel free to ask some questions for us on Sunday. It'll be fun to get to talk to Frankie about a whole bunch of different things and stuff. Is he a wrestling fan too, Rob? Do you know?
No, he's not. His son is.
Okay.
His son, yeah, like his son knew me before he knew me, like years ago, and but yeah, no. So he's not gonna know if
he won't know the wrestling stuff,
right?
So, but feel free to ask some mob questions and some fun stuff going on there, or anything about Vegas too. I'm sure. Be a good time, Rob. I'm excited.
He was known as a tough guy.
Known as a tough guy.
Yep.
So,
Yep. All right,
get
cool,
ready.
man. Appreciate it. Appreciate
Yeah.
it, Van Dam fam, and appreciate it, Dominator.
appreciate you too, Rob, and appreciate Katie and all
Katie,
the
it's time to take the trash out.
It's trash night. Trash night. Katie, be sure to go to rvd420.com. Get some Greek glassware too. They're still available. Some cool stuff going on there. If you're on RVD TV, be sure to like, subscribe. Same with Rob Van Dam's YouTube channel. Like, subscribe there, and help support the show and get the word out about it all. But we thank everybody for tuning in, newcomers and regulars alike. So we'll see you guys Sunday here, but you'll catch this episode on Monday. Oh, Barbie. Barbie show's not up.
Barbie said bye.
Barbie said bye, everybody. So we'll see you next time here on One of a Kind with who? Rob Van Dam.
And Barbie.
Oh.
Barbie D. Barbie D.
Barbie D.
Thanks, everybody.